It's Man Alive.
Hey there.
Hey.
Scott Pioli. What is happening?
Michael
They like bald guys.
Yeah,
what can
right.
I say, right?
Oh,
Hey,
wow.
listen.
They called him Hot Pioli. Wow.
Scott,
No
we
one
just had a
ever called me
discussion
that.
about-
Trust me, Kyle.
We're starting
I'm
today, man.
uncomfortable.
We are starting right here. We just had a discussion about comparing the more impressive quarterback, Tom Brady at 43, Patrick Mahomes at 25. What stands out to you about these quarterbacks in Super Bowl 55?
You know, I listened to you all, and everyone we brought up great points. We could talk all day about their skills, about their tools, how great Brady has been, how great Mahomes has been and is going to be. But to me, as I was thinking about this, one of the things that stands out to me is how they represent the change in this league from a business standpoint. Tom Brady has been in the National Football League for 21 seasons. He has earned a total of $260 million in those 21 seasons. Patrick Mahomes now just signed a contract for $450 million in addition to the $25 million that he made in his rookie contract. So to me, one of the things that stands out as we look at possibly the greatest quarterback of all time, I don't always like talking about all time, and the person who is the future of the NFL, and looking at the growth that has happened in this league and how much things have changed, not only from a football standpoint, we see it on the field, the difference between Brady and Mahomes, but how much it has changed and grown from a business standpoint as well.
Big time, Scott. No doubt. You had a fascinating tweet during the Buccaneers-Packers game about this issue of different standards of penalties in playoffs in the regular season. We know there was a huge pass interference call. There was also a huge non-call in that game. Explain to us your concern surrounding the concept of, quote, just let them play.
Yeah, it's, Kyle, we hear that phrase all the time. When we hit the playoffs, oh, they just need to let them play. They're going to let them play. Oh, they're just letting them play. To me, I don't understand what that means at all. And again, I feel bad for the officials. I feel bad for the players, the coaches, because the standard needs to be the standard. We can't have one set of rules that we enforce during the regular season and tell players, okay, this is the threshold of what pass interference is going to be. Offensive linemen, this is the threshold of what holding is going to be. We get to the playoffs, and all players and coaches know that they're going to let them play the game. Again, when I hear that statement as a football person, whether you're a coach, a player, or even a viewer, I don't even know what that means. What is the standard? What is the threshold? So we see plays like this, and then people get upset at the officials because they've let other things happen in the game. And now players have to, they have to play one set of rules during the regular season. Then they change the rules in the playoff season. And what happens over the course of a game is they're trying to test the limit to see what is going to be too much of a tug on a jersey, what's going to be too much of a tug on a shoulder, what's going to be holding. So to me, this whole idea of letting them play the game when we get to the playoffs, that new standard, I just don't think is very good or healthy for football.
Well said. Hot Pioli, thank you for being on our show today. I wanted to talk to you about Aaron Rodgers and his presser after the game. He surprised us all. He really did when he said that his future is uncertain in Green Bay. Now, from a front office standpoint, I'm wondering what happens behind the scenes after a star player makes a comment like that.
Kay, first of all, I want to go back to that moment when he was very raw and very emotional. A wise football man, I heard him once say that never make any decisions or too many comments at the very end of the season. Give yourself some time, because at the end of the season, everyone is upset except for one team and one set of players from a team. Aaron Rodgers was one of two things. He was either incredibly transparent, raw, and emotional, or he knew exactly what he was saying. I heard Kyle mention earlier about how careful Aaron is with his words. And again, that was either a moment of impulse or it was a moment of intention. I'm not sure which one that was. Again, he is a very smart person. He was very upset. We don't know if he was just upset about the loss or what led up to this season. Again, now to answer the question, if I'm a front office member or the general manager or the head coach, what I do is I talk to Aaron at that moment, and I say, listen, let's let a couple of days, let's let a couple of weeks go by, then let's come in and talk about this, because you are an important shareholder in this franchise. But something happened there after that game. Again, it seemed a little bit out of character for him to be that impulsive because he's such a smart guy and he's usually very, very careful with his words. So I'm wondering if there was something very intentional and a message that he was trying to get back to the Green Bay Packers.
Scott, I love it when you use the words, I don't know what that means, as it pertains to flags being thrown in the regular season versus the postseason. I want to ask you about a quarterback, Matt Stafford, who, as we all know right now, is going to be moving on. I got to be honest, even as a player, I don't know what that means. You know, when you start thinking about contract talk, and isn't he a franchise guy? And if he goes somewhere else, isn't that quarterback in that location? Does he have to be traded? So for every fan that's sitting back saying, okay, I thought Matt Stafford was going to be a Lion his entire career. I hear he's moving on. I don't know what that means. Tell us what that means.
Yeah, well, here's what happened. You know, I'm not sure. I found it very interesting, first of all, that as soon as the head coach and the general manager was hired, the information got out there that he was going to be traded or that he had asked for a trade. To me, I wonder what was known before they hired the head coach and the general manager, and I'm hopeful that those two people that were hired knew exactly what they were walking into. Now, what they decided to do is they hit the first part of the processes, and they let 31 other teams know, hey, we're open for business. And to me, again, I don't know the truth, but my guess is when you see something like this, if you're one of the other 31 teams, you say to yourself, okay, why are they letting us know so early? To me, my instincts are telling me that they're looking to get a trade done, and they're looking to get a trade done quickly. They had to know about this earlier than what they let the rest of the football world know. So to me, I think this may be like a situation similar to Alex Smith in 2018, where they let the world know that he was going to be available for a trade. And this trade will actually get agreed to in principle before the Super Bowl. I mean, I could see a trade being agreed to within the next 2 weeks, and that Matthew Stafford will have an idea where he is headed in very short time. Now, again, the trade won't be consummated until after the first year. Who knows? Maybe it doesn't get consummated until after June 1st, because if it involves a team where team where players are being traded, they have to think about the acceleration. So will they be trying to circumvent the June, get to the June 1 rule? So I could see a trade being put in place, and in weird off-season where players don't have to be with their teams because of the pandemic, this may be a very, very interesting move. But I see the trade getting done in the next 2 weeks.
Scott, more to your point, we were at the Super Bowl a couple of years ago, out to dinner, a bunch of us with our boss, shout out John Marvel, and Rappaport was at the table when the Alex Smith trade went down, had to get up, his dinner got cold, boo-hoo Ian Rappaport, but you're right, that got done in the week leading up to the Super Bowl, so it could be a similar time frame for Matthew Stafford. Scott, bald is beautiful. We talked about quarterbacks, we talked about baldness. When will the bald quarterback come back? What do we need to do? Terry Bradshaw, Y.A. Tittle, where have they gone, huh?
The Matt Hasselbecks of the world.
I don't know, but it's not going to happen during Brady's time. I can guarantee you that. That's a nice head of hair right there.
We know that.
He's got that right. Scott Pioli has an article up right now on NFL.com about how Deacon Jones and Jerry Rice helped to put Mississippi Valley State on the map. You can read it now at NFL.com/Pioli. Not hot Pioli.